In this video, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 25 best foods you can store for survival in scenarios like off-grid living, or in scenarios of when things go bad, shit hits the fan, and you need food to survive on. So, two foods here actually, by the way, I did not include. That's going to be dried corn, and it was whole grain wheat. I could not find that in stores anywhere, so I just want to say, first two items are going to be dried bagged corn like this, right? And then of course bagged as well, whole wheat grains, right? Stuff that's ungrounded or anything unrefined. That stuff's gonna last you a long time. It's gonna be really important you keep it in a really safe area, like in regards to away from rodents. But if you do that and you keep it in a moisture-free, dry area as well as cool area, it's gonna be lasting you a very, very long time. So let's move on to the things I actually have here. Dried beans will last you a long time. Dried beans are going to be something that you're going to use in regards to getting your fiber. This is a lot of fiber. It has a decent amount of calories, protein, and has some carbs as well, so you're going to be full. One of my favorites. There's a lot to choose from what I've seen, and this is definitely a variety and something. This definitely has a big variety of things to choose from, and it's something good to fall back on when you're in need of something that will give you energy. So yeah, there we go, beans. And then the other thing is we have oatmeal. Oatmeal is something you can eat as for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. You can do it in water, you can do it in milk, add some fruits, add some vegetables. Usually people add some sweeteners to it, but when you do it, you're going to be able to not only get some energy, you're going to get some protein, you're going to get some carbs, and you're going to definitely get a little bit of fat, and definitely some calories as well. This will last you a long time as well. Just make sure you seal it tight like this. Maybe ideally if you put it into like a glass jar or something like that, or a metal container, and like seal it shut. This will avoid rodents, like I said, rodents and bugs, insects, and mold as well. This it's really important you keep air out as well. Otherwise you're gonna have a moldy oatmeal. So what else? Rice. One of my favorites. Rice is something you can essentially eat with anything. There's a lot to choose from. You want to avoid brown rice. That just won't last as long at all. But white rice, on the other hand, will. The rice is used by so many countries. It's staple food for everybody, even of course even the poorest people in the world. It's gonna last you a long time. It has calories. Has the carbs. It's super cheap. What else? And you can eat like a handful, and you'll be full. Again, it goes good with anything. You can eat this with Vienna sausages, with beans, or anything. Rice is a really good staple food to have. Stockpile on this stuff, like with wheat. Put it into airtight containers. You don't want bugs. You don't want rodents, and you definitely don't want mildew and mold growing on top. So, all right. What else? We're gonna do. How about dried seaweed? All right. Dried seaweed is good. It has has iodine, by the way. Obviously, this is from the sea, so you're going to have iodine, something you typically get from the table salt you're often familiar with. But instead of that, it's coming from the sea. So this is really good, especially when things go bad. If you want something to protect you from radiation, the iodine level in here will help you to supplement the iodine levels in your body. So seaweed, and it's super light. Now I recommend you, like, if you ever get this stuff and it comes in these kind of packages, this is taking up a lot of space, so unpack everything and put it into a smaller container, but don't crush them, don't push too hard, or else you're gonna break these, because these are pretty brittle. Okay, it's dried, it's dehydrated, so they're really brittle. You want to put them in a small container, compress them, and you're gonna have a lot more space available. Next, how about this? Beef jerky. This, of course, applies for anything that's jerky related. Okay, I'd say deer jerky, turkey jerky, beef jerky. I don't know what else is there. Fish jerky, by the way. All this stuff, when it's airtight, when it's dehydrated, when it's airtight in the packaging, and of course you can add some oxygen absorbers. It's gonna last you a long time. It's gonna be a good source of protein. And when you do it at home, you're not adding all those harsh chemicals to these things, to the ones you can buy in a store, like cornstarch and I don't know what else, like soybean oil. Come on, soy sauce. Of course, that's where this thing gets its flavor, but not necessary. You can make your own magical seasoning that just doesn't have all the stuff that your body doesn't need, and it's going to be a good source of protein. All right, what else? We got some canned food here. Let's start with tuna. It's a good food to have if you're tired of eating like land meat. You can get sea meat, like this. Has decent amount of protein. It's gonna fill you up, and it's really lightweight and dense in what you get. I think this has about 24 grams of protein per can like this. So really, really, really good source, and it's cheap too. Sardines as well is a good source of meat. Sardines is going to be another thing you can fall back on if you're tired of eating tuna or you don't like tuna at all. They're smaller. Actually, there's a little fish packed in here, and again, you get sea meat. It's a good stuff. Cheap too. It's $1. You can get more. You can get a little discount. Vienna sausages, really really cheap meat. Super cheap to buy. Actually, I think about 25 cents. I got this, and when you buy it in bulk, it's a little cheaper. Has some protein, definitely has some calories and sodium, and it'll last you a long time. Just don't break the seal. Chicken breast, or this is chunk white chicken. This is I guess that Giant brand, I think. Anyway, when it's sealed like this, it's gonna last you a long time, just like those meats, the fish and the meats do. If you're tired of eating, pork or fish, you can always do chicken. Good to have variety. Let's do beef stew. And beef stew is actually kind of like a meal in a can, really. It's like there's potatoes here, vegetables, has the calories, protein, the carbs, everything you can think of. It's in a can, so it's sealed. And this will be probably a good serving for like 2 to 3 people. Of course, if you have small rations. So anyway, good choice. Next, we have Spam. This has been around for, almost 100 years. It's pretty basic ingredients. It's pork and salt and some other stuff. It's already cooked too, so it's ready to eat. I've never had it before, but I know for the fact that many people include it in their lists, and I'm assuming it's for good reason. So I'm gonna try it out, and I'm gonna probably be like very surprised that it's gonna probably be pretty good. A lot of probablys, but I'm pretty confident this could be a good food to eat. Don't eat too much of this stuff because it's probably not healthy for you. All right, what's up? What's next? Broth. All right, now this can be either bone broth, chicken of any kind of meat. You can do broth of chicken, broth of beef, or broth of vegetables. I've never heard of fish broth, so I don't know about that, but this could be good because sealed, it's high in salt, so it's going to last you a long time. Salt preserves things, remember that. So this would be a good addition to things that are physical, like like a meat or vegetable that you want to kind of throw in this liquid, and you can make yourself like a soup of some kind. And it's really cheap too. Maybe a Swanson. I think this was about $1.25. All right, what's next? Chili. Chili's good too. Chili's could be good with. You can put it on your Vienna sausages, or you can just eat it by itself. Now you can add beans in here. This one has actually no beans included, so that's of course up to you. It's really cheap to buy. Has a lot of protein, a lot of sodium. It's canned. It'll last you a long time, and yeah, good meat. It's a ground beef, so it's another choice in your meat arsenal. All right, what's next? We got canned corn. Now, canned corn is good because it's corn. It tastes good. It definitely has sugar. It has fiber. It has carbs. It has a little bit of tiny bit of fat, not much, and definitely not much protein as well. But what's going to be good with why it's good is because this will be a good extra with other meals you can eat. You can eat by itself too, by all means. But when you add it with other things like corn or I don't know, like I mentioned earlier, like wheat, like wheat grains or something like that, it'll be a good extra. I'm kind of losing words to say about corn, other than the fact that it's just a good food to have stored for an emergency. Diced tomatoes, and this of course has vitamin C. This has vitamin A, iron, calcium. It's just a really good thing to have. You can add this with other things. like pasta, for instance, that I haven't mentioned yet, but I will. You can add it with mashed potatoes, with rice, or anything. So again, like corn, a good thing to add extra, and as well as the extra nutritional effects you get with it, like vitamin C. All right, now beans. This is, of course, just like the thing I mentioned earlier. Earlier I mentioned dry beans, and this is canned beans. And the canned beans are good because they have the same nutritional effects, but they also have sodium and some other stuff to add to it to preserve it for a little bit longer. Um, these are cooked. You don't have to soak them, like unlike those, and they're cheap, really cheap to get. And you can add it into a whole bunch of meals too, just like tomatoes, just like corn, just like other stuff, just like chili. You can add beans to a lot of things, and it will just make food taste better. All right, what's next? Now we kind of ran out of meats, so what's next? Let's do. How about this? Freeze dried fruits and vegetables. And this, of course, I don't have a food freeze dryer. I looked it up, and they're like $2,000 from what I saw. So I was like, nope, not yet at least. But this right here, freeze dried fruits and vegetables, they essentially get all the moisture absorbed out of them, so they last for years and years and years. And especially if you seal them in airtight packaging like this, that's just going to add to the longevity of them. They're going to have similar nutritional effects, vitamin C, vitamin A, all that stuff. And it's just a really lightweight package as well, since the water's absorbed out. So they definitely weigh less because of that. What's next? Let's do pasta. Okay, just like rice, just like oatmeal. Pasta is a good addition to your food. This, of course, again, needs to be sealed in kind of containers that not only absorb oxygen but also keep rodents and bugs away. If you're a pasta lover, if you like spaghetti, this would be a good extra to store. Again, when you do it right, you don't want to store it later and have a whole bunch of mold growing. That's not good. So store it properly, and it should last you a while. What's next? All right, how about this? We got MREs. So this is called meals ready to eat. Now, meals ready to eat are, MREs are a military thing that they have in case, for their troops and everything, for the times that they don't have the most ideal conditions to make food. So you can add a little bit of water, hot or cold, and mix up with this, and you're gonna have a ready to eat meal. So yeah. MREs all have, obviously all the nutritional facts, calories, protein, sugar, carbs, all that stuff. And you can serve, with this packaging, you can serve 2 people. If you go online, for instance, you can buy a big bulk package for a lot cheaper than I bought this. This cost me about $10, so that was on the expensive side. But you can save a lot of money if you buy it in bulk, like with anything. So MREs, good stuff. Oh, by the way, this packaging right here, just the packaging alone has an expiration date of 2025, which is right now 2018, so it's 7 years from now. All right, now what's next? Now let's do powdered milk. How about that? Obviously, milk goes bad fast, and especially, the real milk goes bad in a few days. The milk we buy in stores goes bad after a week or two, I think at most. Usually it has a 30-day expiration date. This stuff lasts you for years because it is like dehydrated milk. So all the liquid's taken out, and up goes the shelf life. You do have all the protein, you do have calories, you do have cholesterol, a little bit of cholesterol, sodium, and all that stuff. So you do get nutrition once you add water to this and mix it up. All right. Now let's move on to something like peanut butter. Now, peanut butter, ideally, if you get the smooth kind, it's gonna last you a year or 2, maybe 3. But peanuts can go rancid, so if you taste it and it tastes bitter, then try not to eat it. But again, if you seal this in like a glass jar or something, or maybe a metal jar, it'll last you a little while. This stuff is good because 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons is gonna fill you up, because 2 tablespoons has 16 grams of fat. 7 grams of protein, so it has all the stuff to make you satisfied and full, and give you some energy. So peanut butter is good. Let's see, and let's do maple syrup. Maple syrup lasts you a long time, years and years and years, because it's all pretty much 100% sugar, but different kind of sugar. It's maple sugar. So it's a good addition on things like on wheat products and whatever. It's good on pancakes and everything, but you won't always have ingredients available to make pancakes. But maple syrup is good to have as a replacement for table sugar, although you can still have that too, by the way. I just didn't include it in this list. Get the real stuff, 100% pure maple syrup. If you don't, then you're gonna just be wasting your time, because the fake stuff you can buy for like $3. Like Miss Buttersworth or something has like corn syrup, caramel color, fructose. That's about it. That's what makes her, and some extra flavor added to it to make it taste like maple syrup. But real stuff costs a bit more. This is $7, so not the cheapest stuff, but it'll last you a while. So stock up on this as well. Instant coffee. Oh, this will last you for years and years and years. It'll probably last you forever, or at least maybe probably past your life. Dehydrated coffee pretty much is ready to go coffee. You can mix it up, ready to drink, and you can make up to 120 cups of coffee, 6 ounces. So those are little small cups, but just say you have 12-ounce cups of coffee. You can make 60 cups, 60 servings, and it'll still be great. So it's cheap too. It's like $5, I think, last time I checked. So really, really good to have coffee. You want caffeine that gives you energy, and this stuff works just as good as regular coffee you can buy. So Folgers. You could do Maxwell as well, or Maxwell House or something like that. I forget what it's called. And don't forget to store water. Like water is something that may become scarce at one point. Like, this is something that, yes, it's heavy, yes, it's bulky, but let's just say store a gallon for every like 3 days of the year. Like, for example, like 100 gallons a year. You're gonna be able to have an extra supply of water for the next year, for instance, if you drink this in moderation, of course. But it never hurts to have more water. Okay. This is distilled water. This is how I prefer to drink my water. Most of the water I've done research and tested that you buy at the store it's just essentially tap water that has minerals added to it, and is just to alter the taste, but it's just has fluoride, has chlorine, all that stuff, and I don't want to drink that. Distilled water essentially eliminates almost all of that, if not all of it, and it's more or less about the same price. This cost me about $1, $1.50. But I'm sure I can find cheaper prices on brands like this or similar brands that are still distilled water. Water is really important. This is a good thing to have as a backup. Obviously, you need that for your life. So again, I'm rambling too much about water, but you need to have water, a big storage of water, because you never know what goes down. So here's the entire bulk of food you just saw. This right here cost me about $55. All right, now consider that this could be something that's gonna last me probably about 2-3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, right? If I eat every day or every other day, for instance. Who knows? Like, actually, how long this will last me? I'm not even sure, but based on my eating habits, I think this lasts me about 2 weeks. If you start buying this stuff in bulk, you're gonna save a lot more money. You just have to pay a lot more money up front. But it all depends on your budget and your finances, everything. So yeah, that's pretty much my my list of survival foods. The when shit hits the fan kind of preparing package, or my care package, for example. So that's it. I'm gonna cut this video short. I'm gonna stop rambling along. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to add some things to what I said in this video, feel free to comment below. If you have suggestions, comment section is all yours. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when I put out a new video. So I'll see you guys in the next video.